Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and I am here for the 7th episode of Family or Fiancé. In all actuality, this is an episode that I have been looking forward to because before they started doing the most recent little previews of what is to come, I didn't know if they were going to delve into non-traditional relationships like, gay, lesbian, transsexual, anything along the lines that aren't male and female coming together. So I'm actually excited to do this review. Let's go ahead and get into it. So this is a lesbian relationship. The couple's names are Brianna. I hope I'm saying it right. Brianna. They call her Bri. And Nakaya. When I first saw Nakaya's name on the screen, I thought that it was Nakia, because I know people who they spell their name like that. But anyway, her name is really pretty to me. So anyway, these two met on Facebook, and apparently Bri was on Facebook and was liking a whole bunch of her pictures. And the funny thing about it is they grew up around the street from one another and didn't even know it. So it's like, wow. So Bri has 2 kids and she's a stay-at-home mom. And Nakaya is the one who is the bread maker, the sole bread maker, the only one that goes out and works. And she supports her fiance and her fiance's children, and she treats the kids, so she says, as her own. So that is amazing. So the crazy thing about all of this is that no one knows that they are engaged, and the people that are coming, they're just like, okay, trying to figure out why they're even coming there. So that's crazy. So Nikki, her family is fine with her dating other women or whatever, but Bri's family is kind of on the fence and actually are in disbelief and are like, we're waiting on her to just come back over to this side of the fence because we think that this is a phase. She's not really here for her. She's not gay. This is just a phase. So we're just waiting for her to just get over this phase in her life. Y'all, I mean, I understand it because there are people who have had these phases in their lives and it's just like, oh, what a woman, but they really weren't. They were just doing it as something to do, and it actually was because of financial reasons. And I was just like, wow, okay, that's crazy. So anyway, Bri doesn't work, and Nakia's family doesn't like that. Like, she literally doesn't do anything except be a stay-at-home mom, and they feel like she is a gold digger and she doesn't contribute anything, and she's just using Nakia. And so what is going to happen is they're going to do 20 questions with Nakia and Bri's family. Nakia is going to be the one who's doing 20 questions with Bri's family. And Bri is going to be doing a barbecue where she's going to be outside grilling, and they're going to talk to her, meaning Nakia's family, so they can get to know her. Y'all, so Bri's family got there first, right? They came in, it was like, hey, y'all, what's up, or whatever. And she immediately started showing them around the house. Well, Nakia was like at the end, and was just kind of like just there. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And so in the confessional, Bri's people were like, she all standoffish and she don't even speak to nobody when she came in the door. So I'm gonna keep the same energy she got. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like they don't like her. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. So it's crazy because when the kids' family came in, they were so open and loving, and Bri's people were all out back, and they were even trying to read to us. Well, it sure sound like they nice and fun. That ain't the way that we weren't welcomed like that. And so I was just like, oh my gosh, like it was crazy. So part of what Tracy McMillan has given them the task to do is to, of course, let everybody know the reason why they're there, which is they're getting engaged. They are engaged to be married, and, I can understand that it must be hard given the fact that they already know some of the concerns, meaning that, they think that she's using her and they don't believe that Bree is really a full-on lesbian now. So they already are speculating that they're not going to be here for it and they are not going to give their blessing. And they were already like, I don't care if they get a blessing or not. We still going to go forward with this marriage. So anyway, they told them what the tasks were going to be. And they actually, at the meeting, when they told them what the task was going to be, they ended up saying, the reason why y'all are here is because we are engaged. And so everybody was just like, what? And Nakia's mama was like, wow, she's the only one who had some sort of a positive kind of level, not negative at all type of response. And one of, I think, Bree's family members was like, this is just so disrespectful or something like that. So basically nobody was here for it. I was just like, oh gosh, this is crazy. And like I said before, when Bree was outside on the grill, Nakia's family said, I just want to say Nakia. Nakia's family was just like, we think you're using her and you don't do nothing. She supports you and that ain't cool. You just using my sister. You just using whatever. And she was just like, she do what she want to do. That's what she wants to do. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I do my part. That's a job in itself. And then meanwhile, Nakia is in the house having a wonderful time with Bree's people. They are seeing that she is cool. And, they were like, wow, we didn't know you were like this. And so she was like, I'm like this all the time. Like, she admitted that when she basically gets the vibe that people are not going to be accepting of her for whatever reason, she just starts to isolate herself. She just will shut down and just be like, okay, I'm just here so I won't get fined, and she go on about her business. Because I thought it was, it was sad that when Bree was showing them around and Nakia was following them around, it got to a point where she just veered off where she was going to go and was just like, I'm going to just let them do what they're going to do. You could tell that she was, kind of sad about it. I thought that was so crazy. But anyway. All in all, one of the things that I saw was a problem was that apparently, is it Nakia? Let me see. No, one of Bree's sisters got upset because she said that she feels like Nakia is taking her sister away from her. They don't talk like they used to. They don't hang out. They don't do any of the things they used to do since they've gotten together. And so she's in her feelings. And also a part of the 20 questions, they were like, where do you see yourselves? Do you actually see it going somewhere far? You think y'all gonna make it? So she was like, yeah, I feel like whatever comes our way, we will be able to, deal with it head on, because we don't believe in just, giving up. We believe in fighting for our relationship and our love. And so, Bree's family, they were impressed with everything that they saw coming from Nakia. And they were just like, wow, I can't believe that we thought that she was this way when she was actually that way. So, like I said, everything that happened with Nakia with her 20 question situation, it ended up going quite well. But Bree's situation, on the other hand, it was just bad. And Nakia herself and her soon-to-be in-laws, if they do get married, they were walking outside to where the barbecue was being held, and you could just tell it was so much tension, conflict going on. And, it was just crazy because when they were on the inside talking to Nakia, they were like, what do you think about, motivating her? Because we try to motivate her to go to school and to work or whatever. And so she was like, oh, I motivate her all the time. The only reason why a lot of things happen that she actually does push herself to go out and do is because I sit there and I constantly motivate her. So they were very pleased to hear that. And like I said, you know, the main thing that happened before when they went outside was that her sister felt like she was taking Bree away from her. And so, apparently they have an abusive relationship, and they kind of try to downplay it, like it's not even that bad. And everybody has painted Bree as the aggressor. And that is a terrible thing anyway in itself, to be in an abusive relationship. But when you don't want to acknowledge that this is a problem, that's an even bigger issue. So it's like people were going around the table or whatever, if you will, outside, trying to be like, you know, we don't want this to escalate into something worse than what it has been. We understand what you're trying to say about how it hasn't been that bad yet, but it can get worse. And basically every single woman out there had been in an abusive relationship. And they were just all expressing how they didn't want it to escalate to something worse. So, you know, it's crazy because Nakia's sister expressed that she didn't want Nakia to suffer. She said that there are times that she'll be so stressed out when bills come in that she'll come and ask her for money and other people for money. And she was like, I just don't want my sister to suffer. I don't want my sister to be sad. I want my sister to be at her best and to be happy. And, you know, some of the things that she was saying to Bree was like, well, she didn't ever say that to me, so I have to hear her say that out of her own mouth for me to believe it. So, you know, everything kept surrounding money. Everybody, a lot of the people there think that she's a gold digger, Bree. They feel like Bree is a gold digger and that she's just there for that. And they're just like not understanding why she's doing all that. It got to a point where since that was such a strong concern dealing with the abuse, Tracy McMillan had one of her friends that just so happens to be a life coach to come in and to talk to them. And they said, you know, again, they kind of were trying to downplay everything that has been going on, that has happened. And it's so crazy that their family members have actually seen them get into physical altercations before. And it was just to the point where Bree's sister, again, while she was in the little meeting with the life coach, along with everyone else, she was like, look, I just want to say that it's not always Bree. I've seen Nakia be the aggressor as well, because the way they were trying to paint it, they were trying to make it seem like she was the main and only, really the only aggressor, the only one that is the one that's like always starting something. And so she, you know, wanted to clear the air on that. And then she got so emotional about the fact that they are in an abusive relationship, so to speak, and it's like they're not trying to own up to what they've done and are really not trying to take in as much at that moment, because things started to get to her because she has been through, like I said, everybody there has been in an abusive relationship and they knew how it ended for them. This was something that happened to them, and it's kind of like something they don't know what the outcome could be, because apparently they hadn't been in an abusive relationship before. Now, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, if Bree was in one before and I didn't know, or if Nakia was in one before and I didn't know. But the way that they responded, it says something about how, well, they don't know how it ends because they haven't been in one before, but everyone else has. So I get why everybody is so up in arms about this. So, let me see what else. So the next day they got up and they were making breakfast, and they ended up eventually, Tracy met up with them and wanted to know what happened. And they were just saying that, you know, they talked to the life coach and that they do need to get counseling. You know, nobody's perfect and they do have areas that they can work on. And, you know, Tracy was happy to hear that they were willing to do that. And that is something that they knew they needed to do. And, you know, they said that, you know, they basically like the only way they can move forward is if they actually do these things. And Tracy was happy to hear that. Let me see. So Nikki told Tracy that they had a good day when they did the 20 questions, and Bree said that, you know, it wasn't so great when they did her spending time with Nikaya's family. She kept being constantly attacked, and she was just like, wow, I don't understand why everybody is just thinking that she's the aggressor. Everybody just making it seem like she's just this user. But she wants everybody to understand that she actually does love her, and, you know, they can be together and it can be successful. So Nikki's mom said that they actually had a little sit down after they had talked to her. And she was saying that she is uncomfortable with their relationship because she herself has been in a domestic violence situation before Nikaya was born. What happened was, one day, this was just one of the instances. The guy she was with, sat up there and he woke her up with a gun to her head and was like, when the kids wake up, me and you gonna be dead. So he went to the bathroom, put the gun down, and she ended up going and picking the gun up. She went and got her kids and left. And before she left, she told him if he takes one more step forward that she was gonna kill him. And she ended up leaving that situation. And it was really hard for her to do, but she did it. She got out of it alive. And she doesn't know where she would be right now had she not left him. And her sister, who at one point in time, she was so like adamant against their situation because of the domestic violence situations that have been going on with them. She met up with Tracy McMillan on her own, and she just expressed her concerns and their fears of how their relationship is going to go if they don't take heed and actually get help now. So, you know, they really weren't trying to hear all that about everybody's experiences. They were just like, you know, we could work on ourselves and then we can make it. So Bree ended up, well, the couple actually had a moment to themselves. They were in the room talking, and they were just like, if everybody knew my past, then I think they would understand why I am the way I am. And so I'm glad that Nikaya actually said, yeah, that's true, but at the same time, you have to realize that your past is your past, and what you're dealing with now is your future and present with me. So the way that she decides to take out her aggression and anger whenever a situation arises is not healthy. And she's always reverting back to how it was when she was in past situations and things that happened to her. It seems as though she kind of like blacks out partially, and her mind just goes to that place in the past instead of her being in the present saying, okay, this is what happened. And her reactions could be completely different. So they ended up going and talking to the family, and it said that Bree told them that what happened to her was that one of her friends, which was a guy, when she was 15 years old, he took her. And Nikaya's sister was like, took you? What you mean took you? Because I was like, is she talking about actually taking her or taking her virginity? So what happened was he raped her. Raped her when she was 15 years old, and it was just a sad situation. And they ended up doing the rape kit. She had to move. I mean, she had to like go to different schools because he was at the same school she was at. And the reason why she stays at home is because she doesn't want to be away from her kids that long. And, you know, it got to a point where everybody was like, well, now we understand why you are the way you are. You know what I'm saying? But it's not, you know, of course it's not okay for her to do the things she's doing to Nikaya, but they said they understand now, and they wish they had known beforehand that this is why. These are the triggers for her. And they might have been able to get through earlier to her and been like, you know, maybe you should, you know, get some help. So I'm just glad that everybody has a better understanding of what's going on. So now they are doing the final check-in, and they explained everything that happened when they met up with everybody. And, you know, they kind of feel like, it seems like they're all in a good place, and they are seeing a better outcome than what they did when they first got there and told everybody why they were there. So They are now at the blessing ceremony. Bree ended up writing a letter, I guess because she didn't want to forget. It wasn't really long or anything, but she was just talking about how she wanted people to understand that they are together, they want to be together, they can work things out, and they can make it. And then, you know, actually they said that they both were going to go to therapy, so everybody was happy for that, and they clapped. And they went around the room asking everybody for their blessing, and everybody gave their blessings, and that was the end of it. They took a picture at the end. Everybody seemed to be doing good, but the update is they are working on things in their relationship, but they have not gone to therapy. So yeah, I don't know how that's really going to end after it's all said and done, but they really do need to get therapy. They really do need to sit down and get therapy, because that physical abuse is not healthy. And, you know, I'm really hoping for the best for them. I hope that everything pans out how it should. That was the review for Family or Fiancé. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments or concerns, feel free to post them down in the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to. If you don't, that's fine as well. Anyway, happy Sunday. I hope y'all are having a wonderful day. I'll see y'all on the next one.